I'm joined by the fabulous and effervescent, always interesting and fascinating Tim Pope. Hello.
And strangely endearing.
Strangely endearing.
Yeah.
Just lovingly endearing. It's so great to have you back on the show.
Well, always a pleasure to come on with my favourite bass player.
Oh.
Well, one of my favourite bass players.
Paul, I got to give a shout out, speaking of bass players, shout out to Paul Webb.
Webbo, of course. We all love Webbo. What an amazing bass player. Incredible bass player. And he speaks very highly of you. I've got to say, because we're going to talk a bit about talk. Lots of talking. And, say that when you're pissed.
Paul Webb and Lee Harris, wow, just I feel like they just deserve more credit. They're just such incredible musicians.
Great rhythm section. Funny enough, I was talking with Webbo recently. We met up at a party, and he was talking about how he has to really work at his bass lines. It doesn't come automatically to him. He has to really work at them. But I think some of his stuff just like drove Talk
He's
incredibly.
He's a big inspiration to me. And I kind of got to tell him that a few weeks ago, because I sort of think I have to get it out. I have to get it out of my system. I have to tell people they're great. And it does sort of feel a bit, kiss-arsey, but I have to.
Do you go up to every... I'm going to start interviewing you now. I'm reaching the show, which is my way. Do you, when you meet bass players, do you go up and tell them how great they are and what an inspiration they were? Go on.
No, I can't.
Pretend I'm a bass player.
I'm always really nervous, but I have to... I just think people are just musicians and they're working musicians and they do great things. And once you sort of get over that initial like bedazzlement of having known them in sort of like close proximity within your life, but never having met them, once you get over that and you chat to them sort of one-to-one in real time, then it just all becomes about music.
I'm going to lay it on you now. So who are your top 3 bass players?
Oh my God.
I've put you really on the spot there, haven't I?
Oh, I'm going to put Paul Webb
because you've got to be political. I knew you were going to put Paul Webb, and I know you're going to put Simon Gallup from The Cure.
Oh,
I just know that.
Well, yeah, I will put Simon Gallup because I just, he's just so perfect for The Cure, isn't he? And he's brilliant at what he does.
But otherwise, right?
So we know I love Gail Ann Dorsey.
Oh, Gail's great. Well, I worked with her a lot with Bowie, of course. She's amazing.
Yeah, I just think she's brilliant, and she just seems to have no ego about her at all.
No, she's fantastic.
Nothing. I've seen some interviews with her, and she just seems like an incredibly lovely human being. Very talented, and I'm kind of all about that. Who else? Let me think. Bruce Foxton's great because he had the ability to put down incredible and in-tune backing vocals and keep the bass really tight. And it's so hard to do that. I mean, like Paul did that as well, like doing backing vocals. It's really hard to kind of be thinking from two sides of your brain at the same time. Who else? Like people like Stanley Clarke, just like incredible musicianship, obviously like James Jamerson. That to me is sort of legendary stuff. Do
you know, I know this is a cliche, who I think is amazing. Sorry, I probably just dates me, but I think Paul McCartney is an amazing bass player.
Yeah, he is. Incredibly melodic. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to those songs. And anyway, welcome to the Tim Pope Show. And today I'm interviewing Simone Marie, bass player of...
It would be an honour to be interviewed by you, and I hope you don't mind that I put that bit of footage up of you and Mark Hollis on Tim Pope's. I don't know, what was it called? The Tim Pope Show.
Well, that's so funny because I know the thing you mean.
In a spaceship.
Yeah, and me saying blimey, me being a proper mockney. Yeah, if people go to YouTube and put Tim Pope and Mark Hollis, do you know, it's so funny. I remember so many things so clearly, but I don't actually remember even doing that show. It's so bizarre.
That's funny. Just that episode or just the whole show?
I don't remember doing that particular episode. It's so bizarre, but it's so funny.
Because it's so nice to see Mark being really candid, and this vibe, this kind of brotherhood that you've got together, it's really lovely.
Yeah, and I suppose we should mention part of the reason me coming on today is that it was his 3-year anniversary of his death a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought, because I've been threatening to get you back on the show for a while.
You have been threatening me. Every time I see you, she grabs me by the throat.
You're coming on the show, lad. All right, boy. I thought it was quite fitting, seeing as, you've done everybody's favourite music videos, certainly mine. And I always talk to you about the other stuff.
Go on with it.
Go on, lad. I always talk to you about The Cure and the Bowie, the Neil Young and Iggy. And, you know, if we've got time, we will touch on those as well. We just went past John Snow Pub where you...
Yeah, it's quite funny where we're talking from your swanky new studios. I've got to say,
mine.
I sort of preferred the garden shed where
the rabbit hutch.
This is all proper grown up, this studio.
Yeah, everything's clean and angular.
But we are just around the corner from the John Snow Pub. And then so when I met Iggy, I think in 86, he came up to my cutting room. My producer phoned me and said, oh, Iggy wants to meet you. And he was like my absolute hero. And he came and so I took him up the John Snow Pub and he described to me the Stooges. And I looked through the window this morning and just imagined him. I remember standing at the mahogany bar and standing over him, looking over the back of his teeth as his jaw jutted out. And he told me, yeah, man, the Stooges played like this. And the pub was all full of these old Soho geezers who were... just didn't.
It's a lovely pub in Soho. I'm so glad it's still there.
It was in the 80s. I haven't been in there lately. I think it's probably a bit more corporatised. I don't know.
But not so much, no.
Well, in the old days, it was full of old bastards who used to wheel, who looked like Toby jugs, you know, and you know, and it was brilliant because I had Iggy in there, like dancing around, pretending to play like a guitar, like James. What's his name?
James Williamson.
No, not James. I know he's a mate of yours, isn't he? Ron Ashton.
Oh, Ron Ashton.
I remember him going on about Ron Ashton's guitar playing and standing there dancing like Iggy, sort of about a foot below me because I'm quite tall, and describing to me about the Stooges. That was good. But anyway, just a few feet away from here.
I'd love like just a day inside your mind of all your memories, not the weird stuff, but just like.
Oh, you'd love the weird stuff, Simone. I know you're secret. What do you mean the weird stuff? That's a bit. All right, that's it. I shall curtail this interview very rapidly. What weird stuff have you ever seen from me? I'm very well behaved.
Yeah, it's all just strictly, you know.
Yes,
just
it
really
is strictly,
you know, boring stuff.
Yeah,
of course.
Strictly boring stuff. Yeah.
Strictly boring. The new TV series.
Yeah, thank you.
So I wanted to get you back on because it did sort of coincide with the 3-year mark of Mark passing, and you know, Talk are a band that you've worked a lot with. You've done most of their music videos. I'm Such a Shame, Dum Girls, Life's What You Make It, It's My Life, Living in Another World. We're going to play some of those tracks and kind of just go through the videos a little bit because I'm so intrigued by your process and how you represent the song in the film and the little sort of things that you throw in. So there's a lot of attention to detail, and it's a sort of excuse to talk about the band and your memories of Mark as well. So I guess, which one do you want to do first? I was thinking Such a Shame.
As you wish. Shall I say how I first met him?
Yeah, please.
Or do you want me to talk after Such a Shame?
No, tell us how you first met.
When I first met him, I thought to be honest, they were a bit of a synth band. It's funny, they're a band I don't often talk about, actually. I don't know why. Maybe because I've got so many sort of private memories of him. But, and we were very close. You know, a lot of people you work with, you don't become friends with, but I did become really close friends with Mark. But, and then didn't see him for many years, and that's a whole separate story which I'll go into later on. But when I first met him, EMI called me up, and his record label, and he was on the same label as Duran Duran. Now, I'm not being rude, but they weren't really, those kind of synthy bands of the 80s weren't my thing. And I thought, here we go. Oh, someone's about to walk in the studio. Hello, darling, what do you want? Oh, look, come in.
I think we're going to get a picture taken soon.
Oh, we're going to get our picture taken.
Later.
I thought this was a fan of yours come to.
I don't have any fans.
Anyway, so I met him and I thought, oh God, he's just like another synth band, you know. Shall I put my hat on? I'm going to pose for this photo. I'm going to put my hat on.
Oh, okay. Are you doing a photo? Oh, okay. No, she's not.
Sorry. Oh, she's not doing a photo. She's just coming to chat. That's very nice. Anyway, so I met Mark and we were in this little booth. I can see it, not that dissimilar to what we're in here now. It was like this little booth, a little glass booth at EMI Records. And I thought, oh God, it's this synth band, you know, I'm not really into this. And
eyeliner and a hairspray.
No, he wasn't doing that.
No, is that what you were like expecting?
No, the stable mates of Talk were very much like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not really into this. So I went not really wanting. Anyway, what happened was the bloke from EMI went out the door and left us, and that's when the magic started happening. Right. And we just got talking and we started doing naughty stuff. And in fact, the first video we ever did was It's My Life. where I just cut loads of sort of animal footage of documentary footage, which was great, and we really hit it off from there, really. Wow. But I really hated the idea of the band at first, and but then later on, I think the albums became, and I think some of the tracks You're Gonna Pay, I mean, they became just incredible.
Yeah. What was your sort of common ground when you first met Mark? Because when you look back at that video, you're like two little schoolboys. It's hilarious to watch, and there's that sort of famous interview as well.
Yes.
Where it's sort of like, I don't think it's an interviewer's nightmare at all. I think it's brilliant. Like, nobody does cool interviews like that anymore. But you're neither of you. You both have your little in jokes. And that's what's really fun to watch, rather than two people playing up to the camera trying to sort of be cool.
I think Mark was someone who lived very much in his own little private world now. And the more I think about it, I think his talent was like oh God, how do I make this? See, I have to think how he'd hear this. He'd go, "Oh, shut up, Popey." and he was like a little delicate flame, and I think I think the humour was a way of protecting all that in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the more the albums went on, the more. I mean, what bands don't like those albums? I mean, they're incredible. They have really. I mean, that piece you wrote, Simone. Simone has written an amazing piece, which you should put a link up to. It's actually a beautifully written piece, apart from anything else. And I love. What was that quote about the silence you talked about?
I think I said something like he knew how to illuminate silence. And
I love that idea. And
yeah,
I think
that to me became more apparent. I mean, it's there in the music, but it kind of started to become maybe more apparent. And I'm no music critic. I don't want to sound pretentious. I suppose from the Colour of Spring, up to Spirit of Eden, to Laughing Stock, and then, onto his own stuff, there was just this respect for what sound you put down and what sound you kind of paralleled silence with, and a real consciousness of what you want, and the whole thing of using real acoustic instruments that couldn't be dated to a certain fashion or genre, and how that sort of created a timelessness about the music. And it's that kind of passion and sincerity that I really hear in the music.
I agree. In fact, can I make a change of the suggestion of the first song? I don't want to screw up how you do stuff, but that one that you played me that I'd never heard, what's it called?
Oh God, it's Getting Late in the Evening. That is so beautiful,
which I think very much hits that. It's just so. I mean, I'd never heard it.
It's one of my favourite pieces of music of all time. And it's just simply stunning.
Why?
Because it captures a feeling so incredibly perfectly. That feeling of that kind of hazy, like slightly sort of twilight evening feeling, the murmuring of people around you, some laughter, and then literally when I hear that, I can literally see the sort of sky changing colour as there's a kind of sunset. And it's just, the structure to a lot of his stuff is just not formulaic, and that's what I like about it. And it's just incredibly beautiful.
So can we play that as the first off song? Because I didn't know this song, and I think it's quite beautiful.
It's a B-side.
I'm going to put my headphones on and listen to it.
Yeah, it's nice. Talk, it's getting late in the evening. I mean, it's just breathtaking, isn't it? There's one line in that song which really grabbed me, and it's make believe our exiles chosen, as if to say, we don't really get to say how we leave this world, but let's pretend that we do. Like, let's pretend that we're in charge of our fate. And that's just it. Yeah, so it's the B-side to Life's What You Make It.
Yeah, it's very. What can I say?
Yeah, God.
Where is he now?
Yeah. Tell us. You had this great. Oh no, you were just saying about he kind of influenced your record collection.
Well, he did. He kind of created my record collection, and when I hear so much of these albums, there is so much of that music. In his music, because he loved a lot of classical music as well.
Yeah.
So it would always be, have you heard a bit of Milau, Popey? Which was he loved
a bit of Messiaen.
A spot of Messiaen.
I love
the next
Messiaen.
words out. A spot of Messiaen, Popey. And then on the other hand, he loved things like Miles Davis, which I hear a lot of in some of the more experimental silent what's that Miles Davis album? But he created so much of and Thomas Tallis we both loved. All the harmony and all that kind of stuff, and I hear a lot of that stuff in his music. So literally, I know someone once said, the day your record collection stops growing, that's the day you grow old. So maybe I've grown old because a lot of the stuff I still listen to, or a bit of Sati Popey, all the stuff I listen to really would be from Mark. Was the person who led me to so much music. You know.
So lovely. You just briefly touched on a nice story before we came on air about you were in Manhattan because you famously wore the green shades. The green shades. You were with him when you bought them.
Well, one day, I don't know how it happened. I was filming some videos, maybe with the Psychedelic Furs or something, because I bumped into Mark in Kansas when he was supporting the Psychedelic Furs, and in fact I got chased out of Kansas because we made a video.
Only you could get chased out of Kansas.
No, because I went in very deep, and I got put into a black book by CBS. Because they had a song called Here Comes Cowboys with the Psychedelic Furs, and I ended up shooting a video with the sheriff was showing us around, but they were all hooked up with some Masonic lodge or something, and I went and filmed this preacher in a church and cut this all to this video and got into dreadful trouble. But Mark was on that tour. Mark was touring, and whether or not I ended up in New York with him, I can't remember. But one day we decided, he and I, just to walk down from literally the top of Manhattan all the way down, which I think is like 13 miles. And we literally started at the top of, is it Washington Heights? I can't remember what it's called. We got the subway up, walked down throughout the day, right through Times Square. And when we got to Times Square, there was this I can see it now, there was this really dodgy little sort of tourist shop, and there were a couple of a pair of green shades that he bought for $2. I remember. I was just looking through my photos, and there was a shot we saw which had the word Hollis in, and I've got a picture of him that I took posing against that in those shades, which is probably the first picture. So every picture you ever see of Mark was in those was the shades he'd bought that day, which was great. So
kind of became part of his look.
I think he sort of, I wouldn't want to interpret it because he'd tell me to shut up, but and I have to be. I keep hearing his voice in my head.
That's a nice memory, though, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And I think in a way they were very much a device, as was his humour, to hide behind. I think, I think so. That's what I think.
Yeah. Do you have like a sort of favourite video that you did with them that was a particularly good shoot or a kind of funny shoot or something?
I think the processes of each video, because the thing is he hated videos. Like in the first videos he made before he met me, he was dressed up in a white suit and was very much a puppet of EMI Records, wanting them to look like a pretty boy band. So there was Lee there, and Webbo as well, and the rest of the band. And suddenly he met me, and he realised he met like a kindred troublemaker, I guess. So
troublemakers.
Well, it was. So, for example, when we did It's My Life, we cut loads of animal footage together, which was not what EMI wanted at all. And so then they made us shoot, and we shot another day, and we shot this video where we overlaid him in green screen really badly, with him lip syncing really badly, with him really going for it. I remember absolutely taking the piss.
Yeah.
So there is a version of that video. So each video in a way had a sort of story, and I think somehow I got that picture you put up on the Steve Rapport.
Yeah, Steve Rapport. Yeah.
We have to credit him, right?
Yeah, of course.
But he there's a lovely photo of him and I on the Such a Shame video. And
that is gorgeous. Yeah, I put it up a couple of days ago.
I hadn't seen that picture until recently, and it's really a lovely picture. So we devised different methods. So Such a Shame was very much like, that was based on a book called The Dice Man.
Yeah, Luke Reinhardt.
And we literally threw a dice on the day for him to wear different costumes and to be different characters.
See, you see this if you want sort of explains that, because he does sort of switch through every different line in a different demeanour, so to speak.
I wouldn't say any of the videos I made with Talk were probably some of amongst my mighty canon, were ever the best ones that I ever made. I wouldn't say that, but there was a definite connection between me and the band. I think maybe of all the videos, the one that really gets me going, I don't know what song you're going to play next, but was when we did the I Believe in You video, which was incredibly beautiful song.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's another one. I might just put one that's a bit more... Actually, I might just play a bit of Such a Shame underneath us at the moment.
Okay.
Because we just had the emotional weight of the other one, which is quite...
Yeah,
oof.
a bit overwhelming.
But yeah, I mean, another incredible... I Believe in You. It feels like that's maybe a bit more perhaps about his brother, heroin use.
His brother. Well, I remember Ed, his brother. Okay.